Hey, Flipside, I've been thinking about this coronavirus thing and making sense of it in my own mind, and just watching how people deal with it and handle the stress of it and think about it. And I thought about this movie that just came out called The Invisible Man. I don't know anything about it. I've not seen it. I haven't seen a trailer for it. But I know a couple young ones that I was talking to recently that wanted to go see a movie, and so they watched the trailer for The Invisible Man, and one of them decided it was just too scary. And so in my mind, I started thinking, well, why would it be too scary? And this is what I came up with. The reason it's too scary, in part, is because the enemy, the danger, is invisible. And invisible dangers, invisible enemies are always more frightful than visible ones. And here's why. Because when it's invisible, you can't assess how big it is. You can't assess where it's coming from. It could be lurking around the corner and you don't know. It's invisible. A visible threat, that's a little bit more manageable, because at least I can see it. I know where it is. I know what it's doing. I can assess its size and its scope. And then thinking about this coronavirus thing, that's one of the things I think that is so scary for so many people. It's invisible. You don't know. Is it on this table that I'm touching? Is it on the keyboard that I'm working with? Do you have it? And am I talking to you too close? And there's just all kinds of unknown because it's invisible. And then I thought this. I thought, Christians ought to be the most comfortable in this time, because the idea of an invisible enemy, that should be foreign to us. The Bible's very clear. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, the visible. Our wrestle is against rulers and authorities and powers of a dark world and the spiritual forces of evil. That's unseen. Like, this should not be new territory for us. I'm not saying the coronavirus is the devil or the demon or anything like that. I'm just saying the correlation is it's invisible and we feel threatened. That's not new territory. It shouldn't be new territory for us anyway. This has been the struggle that Christians should be used to from the very beginning. And not only should we be used to it, we should be ready for it. Because Jesus said, my kingdom isn't of this world. Like, my kingdom is from another place. It's an invisible kingdom. It's very real. And he said, when you've seen certain things, when you've experienced my kingdom, the unseen kingdom in the visible world. And so while the fight and the struggle is an invisible one, we ought to be used to that. And what's more than that, we ought to be conquerors over it, because we serve the one whose kingdom is also greater and also of an unseen world. It knows how to fight this. And not only that, God has promised us that one of the purposes of angels is to send to his people, those who have a relationship with Jesus, and serve us as ministering spirits. So the fight, the struggle is unseen. The one who's fighting for us in our kingdom is in that unseen world as well. So it's fighting already on that territory. And we've got an unseen forces fighting on our behalf. So this coronavirus thing, it's unseen, it feels scary, it feels frightful. It's not new territory for us. One of the reasons that people outside of the church, outside of an ongoing personal relationship with Jesus, get so panicked about it is because this feels like new territory for them. It's unseen, it's scary. They don't know where the fight's coming from, they don't know where it is, they don't know how to handle it. But us, man, it ain't nothing but a thing. We've been doing this. We've been doing this forever. So the fear isn't as great. The panic isn't profound. There's concern, rightly so. We do what we need to do to quell the virus and all that other stuff that we got to do. I get it. That's who we should. But the panic, the worry, the fear, man, we're used to this. So, hey, let's buck up. We're going to be all right. Let's kind of lead the charge now in some peace and comfort, knowing that the Holy Spirit with us is our comforter and our counselor. He's our guide and our helper. He's our teacher. and he's our intercessor, and we're going to be all right. We've been here before in many different ways, and we're going to get through this and get past it. I love you. See you Sunday.